It's another weekend. Hello, welcome back to Beards and Gear. I'm Joseph from KILT Beard Co. Hope you've had a great week and that this weekend's going to be even better. So to kick it off, we're going to try some winter night dram. Trying to get this done before we hit into spring, summer. This is Act 11, Scene 1. If you've seen previous videos of this back in the winter, it probably was not my favorite of the winter drams. And I'm not the only one that said that. Act 10, I believe, was better. But nonetheless, still good, still tasty. I represent it. And what are you representing this weekend? I'd love to hear it. Drop in the comments, and I'd love to try it if I have not tried it before. Anyways, cheers. Good stuff. So this week we're going to talk about what I carry on the trails, hiking and camping. Also fishing or hunting too. They're always with me when I'm out and about like that. Especially when I'm going deeper into the bush, hiking, tall mountains, hills, whatnot. This is what I'm carrying in my pocket with me at all times. So we're going to talk about knives, and we're going to talk about lighters and fire. I'm kind of bringing back in to my pocket what we had in our lightweight pack series from last month as part of my pocket carry, because sometimes you're not always carrying your pack, or you're even going lighter than that. Then also I'm going to share my compass, and then from there we will just discuss a little bit about each product, why we use them, and the benefits of using one or the other. So stay tuned for that. And before we jump into it, so it's spring, we're going into the summer, it's starting to warm up. Today it was about 80 degrees for a high, and it was windy. So dryness in the desert here in Utah, with wind and sun, your beard's going to get dry, itchy, and if you already have an itchy beard on a regular basis, it's going to even be more so. So what I recommend, besides our beard butter that we talked about last week, I recommend our Beard Elixir beard oil right here. So this is specially formulated to keep your face and beard moisturized. Now, about to that, you gotta make sure that you're drinking water. So what these oils will do, if you're hydrated internally, it'll bring those water molecules to the follicles and the skin, the top of your skin. It'll not extract them, but bring them to the surface so that your beard and your skin stays moisturized. So highly recommend this. I wore it today when I went out, especially when we go in the video here. Highly recommend this, and it has peppermint, lavender, and grapefruit, so very refreshing at the same time. Then, if you want to double down on everything, we have our Beard Elixir Beard Balm. So Beard Elixir Beard Balm, most people will just get the balm for styling, so ours has organic yellow beeswax in it. All our products are all natural and organic, so you can't go wrong. But we add 3 butters in ours, along with some supporting oils that, like our beard oil, are very moisturizing, and they absorb really quickly. We also add raspberry oil into our beard balms, all 4 of our beard balms that we have right now, to give some UV sun protection for your beard. Speaking of dryness, we want to keep as much moisture and nutrients in our beard, just like if you were to take a warm a beard iron or a hair dryer to straighten out your beard, which I do not do. And heat can damage your beard, give you split ends, and just create more breakage. So right now mine's a little bit more crazier right now, just because I've been growing it out more of the Viking look. But soon, in the next month or so, when we head off on a vacation, I'll probably bring in the sides and more of a focused trim, if you will. But for now, this is what I'm supporting. I got a lot of curls, so straightening this thing is a bitch. So anyways, I highly recommend our butter. Night before, hit the trail. Before you go out, I would put the beard oil in. Wait about 5 minutes. Throw some balm in there. Style if you will. Style if you don't want to. It will basically take on its own status, if you want to call it that. But you're going to be protected for the whole entire outing there. And we got these cool coasters that I have with my drink here. KILT Beard Co. So when you order, you get one of these too in your order, so it's pretty cool. So you're always thinking about us, right? But anyhow, cheers to the weekend. Hope you have a great week. Let's get after it. Okay, hi guys. So this is take two. The first take got awesome scenery. I thought it was an awesome video, but of course, Murphy's Law kicked in, and the vocal, the audio did not record. So I'm doing this all over again. So I was on top of a nice hill, overlooking a valley, and mountains behind me, all that cool stuff. So I'll have to do it again some other time. But right now it's raining. Off and on, and for what I'm doing right now, it's not necessary to be in the rain, so I am going to go over the 4 things that I think are important to have in your pocket when you are hiking, camping, hitting the trails, etc. like that. So let's jump into it. So first of all, you want a handy lighter. I prefer a Zippo with butane, nice like this. If you can see that, there's a breeze and the wind's not going out. Having a Zippo like this because even when it is windy out, it will stay lit long enough for you to be able to light whatever you need to light. Also, if you give yourself a little cover, it will work too. The first one I would use, if there's no wind, no rain, or anything like that, would be just a regular basic Bic lighter. I get the larger one, like I did here, just to make sure you have something with extra fluid in it. So I highly recommend getting this. Between these two, I would have this one available first, and this is as your emergency. But I would have 2. I always want to have a backup or a backup plan when you are out, especially if you go deep into any kind of bush or backcountry or anything like that. You want to have some backups to your backups, or at least have a plan, right? Next is, and I took this from our lightweight pack, and this can be interchangeably from your inside your pack to outside your pack. It's up to you. But if you want something close by to make sure that you have I'd say one of the essentials to make a fire. If your lighters don't work out, or all the brush is wet and you need something to light, this Bigfoot Bushcraft fire starter is ideal, and it's really good. So you have the plugs here. All you do is you take the plugs, you twist and you break them, and kind of like open them up so they're softer, so they can capture that spark. It's water and windproof, so it's very beneficial for all types of weather and conditions. And then you have your starter, which I like is tied up here. And you got your striker. You can strike into it. And it's also have a measuring, like a multi-tool to it also. But mainly for me, it's about creating a fire. Also, the tin itself can be used to start a fire too. If you really have a really windy conditions and you need more stability, you can do it inside the tin also. So all this plays a key role in starting a fire, which is very important to stay warm and or cook food or heat water up and everything else up on top. So keep this handy. Those are my fire starters, my essentials. Next, knives. Highly recommend knives. I usually bring about 2 to 4 knives for various different reasons. But my first go-to one here that I'm showing is a spring assisted. And this is a tradesman's knife. Tradesman meaning it's sharp to a tip here, and you got like I don't know what they call it, the ribbed blades for like cutting wood and or twigs or rope. So this is a multi-purpose knife, and this is for fine cuts. You shouldn't be doing any blunt cutting, anything like that. This is for fine cuts. Ideally, you want to have a blade that's 4 to 6 inches, not too much smaller, not too much larger than that, for convenience purposes and for safety purposes too. So that's one I always keep on me. And also on top of this one here, and I'll leave the description in the bottom here, where I got this here in Utah at our last expo show, which if you look about 3 videos ago, I talked more about this knife. It's really awesome. But you also have a tie down here too at the very end, along with the glass breaker. So it's really nice, clip on, heavy duty. Then we have another tradesman knife, and I have this for not to double up. It's kind of like between a tradesman and a spear knife. And I have this one because what if the spring assist, it doesn't work, or it gets stuck or jammed or something happens? Straight blade, still has the ribs on top so you can cut things, but also very controllable. It's a single blade right there. So even if I had to disperse the casing, I still could use the blade by itself. So another tradesman slash spear knife. It's kind of in between both, and we'll get to the spear knife in a moment. But this is one go-to also, and I like the mechanical part of it all because it's more dependable. And then we got our spear knife. So spear knife right here is sharp to a point, but it kind of has a rounded bottom, a rounded blade, if you will. That's a spear knife. So this is to me a more multifunctional knife as far as cutting, and it's going to be more durable as far as the blade. So this is a very simple lightweight one. Safety's inside here. This has got to be no more than 5 ounces, no more than 5 ounces. Very light. It's about less than $30 on Amazon. I can leave a link down in the bottom too. I'm not getting no affiliate stuff from this stuff. I'm just going to show you where to get the stuff. But a very nice knife. Highly recommend it. So I would use this one for cutting, like if you're trapping, if you're fishing, if you're carving. I would use this one. This is going to be a little bit more durable than the tradesman, which is more finer tuned. Mine is cutting like twigs and branches and rope and like things like that. So another thing about knives that I'd like to speak about is that there's also a butcher knife, which I don't have a butcher knife on me. So the tip of the knife is kind of more rounded. It's in the name of it. It's a butcher knife. It's to butcher or to skin, cut animal flesh. That is an option to have out in the bush also. I prefer to go between the spear and the tradesman to kind of cut down on how many knives I'm having on me. But those are the 3 types of knives, the butcher, tradesman, and spear, that you would want to consider when you're going out. And I would say, if you know you're going to go hunting, fishing, camping, trapping, everything in between for days, you're definitely going to want to bring a butcher knife with. That is meant to cut the way it's supposed to cut. Also, a knife safety. Always have a knife pointed away from you. And I know we always hear about this, but especially when you're cutting like twigs or branches or sharpening twigs or branches, a lot of people like to do it in between their legs. And we call that the triangle of death, if you will, which is your groin area. You got your major arteries there, and for many of us, our family jewels, if you want to call it, right? You do not want to cut yourself, have something slip, get startled, lose footing, and stab yourself, because then you're in a really extreme medical emergency. And if you're really far, you may not be able to get help to you. So knife awareness is very important. Never cut or use your knife close to your groin area, and just be very mindful in the steps you're doing. Often we can be in a hurry or complacent because it's a new surrounding. We're going to have that mindfulness when we're out there to not make those very costly mistakes that potentially could really put us in a real big bind right there. All right, continuing on. So the fourth thing, so we have the 2 lighters, which is one thing. We have the fire starter, which is the second thing. Then we have the knives, this third thing. And then we have our compass. So our compass is super important. Obviously, you can easily get turned around if you go deep into an area, and sometimes all the terrain starts looking the same depending on where you're at. What I would recommend first off when you get somewhere, and if you have a phone on you, I'd highly recommend taking pictures of your drop-off or your starting point, of the high points and low points, the surrounding monuments, so that you have some kind of reference if you're trying to find your way back, or things you can look for if you can get to high ground, for example. So that's just a little, tip and trick right there. But compass. So this is like a military compass right here. I like it for many reasons. One, the azimuth part of it, you can rotate it. Also, there's a glow in the dark, so I would wear this around my neck more times than not, so I can capture the sun. If I'm gonna have to move at nighttime, I have that option to be able to see at nighttime. I also like that there's the conversion table for the type of maps on the bottom of this one, so you don't have to guess and do math and all this other stuff like in your head. It's all right here. There's also a leveler, so when you do your view, I can't think of the word right now, you know that you're at a level pace, which I usually use my cheek right here to really get down and see what I'm doing. But you can also see if you're level or not to make sure you're having a correct a capture there. But heavy duty, it comes with 550 cord to tie to it, so it's going to be very strong and it's not going to go anywhere. You also have, so you have the option to wear it around your neck. You also have the option of having it in the case. You could tie it to your rucksack or your belt. So you have options with that. In the future, we'll go over the Bushcraft fire starting kit and show how it all works. I can't get everything in one video to make sure I capture everybody's attention or keep everybody's attention, but we'll do that some other time. We'll also go through a compass class and learn about terrain, maps, things like that, so that if you're a beginner or hopefully this can help you go out further and deeper and longer with more confidence. And also, if you're an experienced person, I'd love to hear some tips that I may be missing, and so I can get better too. So yeah, so in summary, I recommend 2 lighters, your regular Bic, your Zippo, 2, your fire starter kit, a Bushcraft, this is awesome, all in one spot. 2 knives, I recommend I bring a tradesman knife for fine cuts and wood and cutting the rope and twigs and stuff like that. A spear, it's kind of more of a like all-purpose one, all-catch-all knife, more durable, can do everything. I prefer that knife also, along with a compass. A compass is going to get us where we need to go. If we get lost, it's going to help us get all of that bind, right? So, with all that said, these are the 4 things that I would have on me at all times when I go hiking and camping. And from KILT Beard Co., Beards and Gear, like and subscribe, all that stuff. I hope you have a great week and you get outdoors and get after it. Have a good one.